Welcome to GCTV and welcome to The Insider as we look back on round 7 of the Global Champions League, the event in Cannes. Frédéric de Backer is back from the French Riviera. Did you cope with the heat? It looked, I don't want to say extreme, but it looked as if it was a very, very warm weekend.
It was warm, it was not extreme, but our commentary position was in the sun. And that made it quite toasty.
You have some summer color. I like that. It looks really good on you. But listen, we can joke about the weather. We can joke about your tan, which looks great, by the way. This was a really big stage for multiple reasons. One, it was physically a very big sand ring, but this almost marks the halfway stage of the season. 7 out of 15 stages we are now down. What have we learned? What has been so important? I mean, this is a really big landmark for the season, is it not?
What have we learned is that basically, the teams, and this is the story of the season so far, of course, that those expected teams still haven't made it into top 4, and that we've got this great rivalry of fresh new teams inside top 4. That's what this stage learned us again, actually.
Very important as we now mark the halfway stage of the 2022 season. And there's a lot that we can learn from the first 7 stages of the year. And we are really going to dive into numbers today. We are going to dive into statistics today and give you as in-depth an experience as you can to bring you up to speed as to what lies in wait for the second half of the season as well. Before we unpack numbers, of course, it's important for us to look back at a very, very important and impressive victory for the Prague Lions. Their second already of the 2022 season as they were crowned champions in Cannes this weekend.
Mowbray on MTM Vivre le Rêve. Brilliant move from the American. You could think take the wide turn to take your time, but it's actually better to take the inside turn. And Mowbray, with a good time, is not super fast, but he's clear in 74.15 seconds. Brian Mowbray rides a clear for Prague Lions.
It's amazing. Like, it's a total dream come true to be able to do this, and this is a horse that I've had for about 7 years. He's my own horse, so it's really special to be able to do it with him.
De Vos to the upright. That's still standing. First team to score double clear. Here come Prague Lions. Mowbray is clear, De Vos is clear, the time is good.
I'm very happy. My horse jumped really good. It's only 9 years old. I was a little bit curious how he would take this course, and yeah, then he jumped it really easy, clear. So I'm more than happy today.
For the Lions, it's Peter De Vos. It's not the super safe round, and Claire has got the vertical down, and so the margin reduced to just a single rail, but they still lead. Time allowed is 80 seconds. He doesn't have to worry about the time limit. De Vos is there at 77.87 seconds. Bruinseels with the Lux Fante and L, 1 rail in hand. He knows exactly what he has to do, and he jumps that combination all clear, and is just 3 fences away from Prague Lions winning their second stage of the season. Time faults won't matter. Is it their second win? It is their second win. How about that? Prague Lions win in Cannes.
Peter De Vos, Brian Mowbray, and of course Niels Bruinseels putting in outstanding performances to help Prague Lions over the line and pick up their second victory of the 2022 season. After winning in Saint-Tropez already, they now make it back-to-back events essentially, or not really back-to-back I suppose, but 2 already for this year. Let's show you quickly before we begin to unpack how things then ended in Cannes. As we said, an impressive victory for Prague Lions. Shanghai Swans and Madrid in motion rounding out the podiums, and we will unpack those podiums extensively in a few moments' time. Good result for Miami Celtics, Frédéric. You pointed out that's their best result of the season.
Season best result, exactly. Yeah. Bringing in Jessica Springsteen has a big impact.
Yeah, it really has. Jessica Springsteen, solid result for Miami Celtics. A lot to look at there again. Hamburg Giants failing once more, Frédéric. Valkenswaard United, tough weekend again.
For Valkenswaard United, tough weekend, especially for Edwina Thops-Alexander. Those 20 that you see there come directly from Edwina Thops-Alexander, 12 and 8. It hasn't been a good weekend for her and for fellow Castlefield. That has been tough.
That's actually an interesting point we pick up here, because I think one of the big lessons that we learned was perhaps how individual performances seem to maybe be the story of Cannes this weekend, because this is GCL, this is a team event. You need your team, like the Prague Lions. When you all succeed, the team succeeds. Take us through some examples of how individual performances this weekend cost teams dramatically.
Yeah, it was a weekend really of extremes. Yeah. You didn't have a clean sheet. you had barely double clears, one double clear in round one, no double clear in round two, which also is remarkable. So just one double clear over those 2 rounds. But on the other hand, you had lots of clears. But every clear, or many clears, were erased, wiped out by the other team rather, by high scores. If I think of Yuri Mansour, of Edwina Thops-Alexander, of Jody Hall-McAteer, who wiped out the clear, in the end the double clear of Theodore and Spencer Smith. It was Mike Kawhi on Goldin, who came still on that clean sheet, on that perfect record, 4 appearances, 4 clears. That turned out completely different, 10 already in the first round. So it was always Simon Delestre, it was always one rider who completely erased the clear from the other one. Olivier Robert, 5 time faults in round one, 5 time faults in round one to take out the clear of Daniel Deusser. So there were a lot of clears, but never 2 clears inside the same team.
Did Simon Delestre have the best excuse for the high score? Because I'm hearing you talk about Jody Hall-McAteer and the rest of these individuals that struggled. Yes, Simon Delestre struggled, and we'll talk about his high score and show why. Does losing a stirrup give him the, I don't want to say excuse, but the best reason to justify the high score? I mean, talk us through how tough a moment that is to deal with something like that.